Before we get into our Bears mailbag, get subscribed to the channel. You see the link on screen. It's youtube.com/BearsNow. Daily videos all off season long and, of course, into the NFL season also. youtube.com/BearsNow. The latest news and rumors are going to be right here, so hit that big red button and subscribe. Let's start with Cameron, the super chat from earlier. What do you think about cutting Charles Leno, moving Bars to right tackle, picking up a left tackle in the second round, move up for quarterback, and extend A-Rob? Seems like that would fix most things. Sure, we'll start with the O-line here. I've said all along, cut Charles Leno, save the money. You already cut Bobby Massey. You might as well fully commit there. I don't think Charles Leno is very good. So, yeah, you would cut him. You could put Alex Bars at right tackle, make Affetti your swing tackle there, or pick up a left tackle in the second round, maybe a Liam Eichenberg, maybe an Alex Leatherwood, someone of that ilk, and then you move up to get a quarterback. Here's the problem. If you move up to get a quarterback, you probably aren't having that second-round pick. Maybe you do if you trade a couple of future firsts instead. It gets a little tricky there. Obviously, you can extend A-Rob as well. I like your thought process. That's filling a lot of your needs. Bears are going to have to pick and choose what they value most because when you sit at number 20 overall, you don't have the flexibility to move around as much as teams in the top 5 or top 10. Jimmy Sweats saw Peter King say that Kyle Trask could go in the first round. Should the Bears take him at number 20? Hell no. Do not take Kyle Trask in the first round. Repeat after me. It's like my Kellen Mond take last time. Don't take Kellen Mond before round 3. Don't take Kyle Trask at 20. That would be a disaster. Kyle Trask put up great raw stats last year, and I actually don't hate him. Round 2, I think you could talk me into. But 20 overall? No, he ran like a 5.2 40. He's not mobile. He doesn't have the strongest arm. He throws with good anticipation. He's an accurate passer, but he also played with probably the best weapon in college football in Kyle Pitts and was able to just kind of throw the ball up at times. Don't take Kyle Trask at 20 overall. That would be a really, really bad pick by Ryan Pace, which means there's at least a 20% chance he'll do it. Would you draft Kyle Trask in the first round? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. So get your votes in, Y for yes or in for no. Would you take Kyle Trask in round 1? Get going with the Newsbreak app. We partnered up with these guys, and this app is great. chatsports.com/BearsAndBeef. Go to that link. It'll bring up the download link, and you just click it through your app store right there. chatsports.com/BearsAndBeef. Here's what the Newsbreak app offers. If you're in Chicago or a suburb, you just plug in your local area code, zip code, Brett. I'm getting it mixed up. Zip code there. You're going to get local news alerts and updates and cool stories in your communities. Daily weather as well. Politics, pop culture, food reviews, all kinds of stuff with Newsbreak with what's going on in your local communities. And yes, more sports content, articles, videos, including some from us here at Bears Now. chatsports.com/BearsNB. The Newsbreak app is great. I use it on a daily basis here in Dallas. And wherever you are, Chicago, West Coast, East Coast, any city out there, you can get local updates from Newsbreak. chatsports.com/BearsNB. Download the Newsbreak app today, and you'll know what's going on a daily basis. Taurean Whitfield, in order to get the quarterback of the future, the Bears would have to trade up to at least 7th. Would the Lions be willing to help out a division rival? I think the key, if the Bears are going to trade up, really starts at number 4. You need the Falcons to keep that pick and not draft a quarterback. That's what it's going to come down to. If they don't draft a quarterback at 4, 2 guys are still out there at 7, I think. Because Atlanta, let's just say they take Kyle Pitts. Cincinnati will take Sewell or Jamar Chase. And then the Dolphins aren't taking a quarterback. Then you get to Detroit at 7. Maybe they're willing to trade down. Maybe you can trade with them. Maybe you can trade with Carolina at 8 after trading for Sam Darnold. You got options at that point. Number 4 pick with Atlanta, that's the key to see if they trade or keep that pick. Lucas Schmidt, who do you think would be the biggest sleeper in the draft? Oh, biggest sleeper. I like the local kid out of Illinois, Ihmir Bebe, the wide receiver, 6'2", 6'3", 215 pounds. I think he's got some real upside. You can get him in like the 5th, 6th round maybe. I like him. Rondale Moore's not really a sleeper at this point. I like Javon Holland out of Oregon. He might be too big of a name at this point, but those are some non-round one guys to keep in mind. Shy Force, why haven't we cut or traded Jimmy Graham? $10 million cap hit, would have rather kept Fuller. Obviously, we have plenty of tight ends, and Komet can use the snaps. I think part of it has been they've held out hope for Russell Wilson, trading for him, and him and Jimmy Graham are boys, and it's pretty, I won't say super well reported, but fairly well reported that Jimmy Graham talked to Russell Wilson and pitched him on Chicago. So I think that's part of it, and I think they value his veteran experience in the locker room, and he did have 8 touchdowns last year. So I think they're in wait-and-see mode with Jimmy Graham. I'll tell you this, I'd be shocked if he wasn't at least restructured. He can't play for $10 million against the cap in 2021. Cameron with the super, being an Iowa guy, I have to say I think Ihmir Smith, Marset in round 5 or so would be a great pickup for wide receiver. I actually have watched him a couple of times. Pretty good player in college. I'm down for drafting multiple receivers in the draft. Take a slot early-ish, 3rd, 4th round, assuming you lose Miller, and then you can take like a flyer on a Imbator Bebe, a Smith guy. Marset would be a good option there as well. I think a receiver early or late day 2, early day 3 could be your target there. Christopher Cihak, trade Miller, Wims, and Leno. I don't know if anybody's trading for those guys. Maybe Miller, and get a second round or second draft, an offensive tackle in the 1st, get a second and take another wide receiver. You're not getting a second-round pick for those 3 guys. Let's be very clear. If you want to draft a tackle in the 1st round, yeah, do that. Draft Tevin Jenkins, dare so. I don't care. But let's be clear, guys. Anthony Miller may have 6th-round value. Charles Leno has no value. Javon Wims has no value. So you're not getting a second-round pick. When is the draft? April 29th through May 1st, Thursday through Saturday. We're going to be live on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, youtube.com/chatsportstv, and we'll pick various times to go live here on Chicago Bears Now. I would assume at some point in the 1st round, and then maybe on day 2 or day 3 as well. So subscribe to our main channel and to us here at Bears Now, youtube.com/Bears Now, youtube.com/chatsportstv. We've had the most watched draft coverage the past 3 years on our main channel. You don't want to miss it. CloudLifeCentral, what do you think about signing Mitchell Schwartz at right tackle? I know about his injury, but he's an enormous upgrade. I think you wait and see how the draft goes, see where you're sitting roster-wise. If you still could upgrade at right tackle, take a flyer on Schwartz. If you can get him for cheap, I'm down. He's a beast when he's healthy. Had back surgery, so that's a red flag. But, yeah, I don't mind that addition. Who is better, Kellen Mond or Davis Mills? Oh, my nightmare question. I would probably go Mond. I think he's got more raw tools. I wouldn't take either of these guys before the 4th round, but, you know, they'll probably both go on day 2. So I think stronger arm. He's more mobile. Davis Mills is rising, though. I saw a mock of him going in the 1st round. He's just nothing off his film or highlights really excite me. I'd probably take Mond, but neither of those guys I don't think will become franchise quarterbacks. Danny Zeff, which of the 5 first-round quarterbacks will fall in the draft and for what reason? If the Niners don't take Mac Jones at 3, I think he's the obvious answer because he simply does not have the physical tools that the other 4 guys have. His arm isn't as strong and he's not as mobile. His accuracy might be the best in this draft, but he's got to be set. He can't throw off balance very well. So if he gets past 3 with the Niners, who have been rumored to maybe taking him, I would say him. And those would be my reasons because his lack of physical tools compared to the other 4 guys. Alan Mack with Hooker and other safeties still out there, Clinton Dix and Malik Hooker, who Clinton Dix didn't even play last year, to sign on the cheap. Who would you go for or sign one in the draft in the later rounds? I would prefer to sign a safety and not have to worry about it in the draft. You can draft like a number 3 type of safety, but I would just bring back Tayshaun Gibson. He played well last year. He was better than Eddie Jackson at times last year. Clinton Dix, he's washed at this point. I know he played fairly well for the Bears a few years ago, but not much interest in him. Malik Hooker's more of a free safety, and he's coming off a torn Achilles, so not much interest. Jason Howard, saw Brad Biggs say he'd expect Pace to take a quarterback early. Can't go into the season with Dalton and Foles with nothing to root for the future. Thoughts? Right? I saw he said that. You can only do so much, though, right? You can't force teams to trade with you. You can't predict how the draft is going to go. When you're sitting at number 20 and this is a a draft loaded with quarterbacks that teams want to go get, like the 49ers did, moving up to 3, you know, you don't have a ton of flexibility there. I get what you're saying, and I think in theory that's right, but you can't mortgage the future for, you know, to move up to 4 necessarily. I mean, I would consider it, but do you also want to let Ryan Pace do that? That's why you should have fired the guy, but that's just my opinion. Name a player you don't want to draft this year. Kellen Mond. Yeah, I don't want Mond. I've made that pretty clear. I don't want Davis Mills either. It's not just a Mond thing. I don't like the quarterbacks after Trask. I like Trask on day 2. I like the top 5 guys in the first round. After that, I don't really like any of the other quarterbacks. So let me know. Name a player you don't want to draft this year. Super chat from Cameron. Are we going to let Cordell Patterson walk? I know it's tough to pick a kick returner that much, but we need the receiver help, especially if we trade Miller. If you bring back Patterson, he's got to give you something at receiver. Last year, they made him like their number 3 running back. He became the number 2 back once Tariq Cohen got hurt. You're loaded at running back now with depth and talent, so he wouldn't do much there, I don't think. If he can be your number 4 receiver and still be an elite kick returner, sure, but market's not really forming for him, so I'm starting to think you might be able to just wait this out and bring him back for pretty cheap. Carrito there. What do you think is the best option? Trading up, trading down, or staying put? Well, if you're watching live, this was the live poll question. 51% say trade up, and we'll ask you guys. Type U for trade up, type D for trade down, type S for stay at 20. 51% are saying trade up. If a quarterback slips, I would take a chance beyond probably the 7th or 8th pick. Otherwise, I would either stay put or trade down. I'm not trading up for another position, so get your votes in, U, D, or S.